Golden Eagles basketball is on the air. Live from the Eagles Nest on the campus of Cal State LA. Tonight, the Cal State LA Golden Eagles take on the Cal State San Bernardino Coyotes in a CCAA doubleheader. Michael Nimitz here with you once again. Cal State LA just completed their last full weekend of the first half of the season. They're starting their first full weekend of the second half this weekend, which means their final 10 games of the conference season, including tonight, will be against teams that Cal State LA has already played this year. 6 of those remaining 10 games, though, are on the road, so the final stretch of schedule is very tough for Cal State LA. You may remember last weekend, Cal State LA swept both games. They beat Humboldt State 72-70 in overtime. They followed that up the next night with a very impressive 62-42 win over Cal Poly Pomona. Of course, in that Humboldt State game, they were down 16 points in the first half and came back for an exciting victory. Kelly Lewis led the way with 25 points. That game was very nip and tuck down the stretch and in overtime. And on Saturday, they led from start to finish, a very different game. They pulled away in the second half. They did it, quite frankly, by playing the fastest I've seen the team play all year. I think if they played at that pace for the rest of the year, it's just my opinion, but I think they'd be pretty much unbeatable. That looked like really the fast pace that they played last year. Cassandra Williams was the big scorer in that game. She had 25 points and 9 rebounds. And thanks to that and her effort on Friday, it helped her win Conference Player of the Week for the second time this year. She averaged 20 points and 7 rebounds and played all but 4 minutes in the 2 games last week. And that got her the award. She also won Conference Player of the Week in December. Cal State LA beat Cal State San Bernardino earlier this year, 87-82. Golden Eagles in that game won the game thanks to Cassandra Williams. Cassandra Williams had a big game that night. She scored 9 of her team's final 11 points in the victory. And she did that in the final 3 minutes of the game, so that she kind of willed her team to victory in that game. That was an 87-82 score, as I said. That was very unusual considering how San Bernardino has played this year, and I'll explain that in a minute. But first, let's get to the starting lineups for this one. First, for the visiting Coyotes, they have the same starting lineup that they had last game, although they've kind of had different starting lineups throughout this season. They've been looking for the right combination. They start at one guard spot, number 4, Lexi Mack, a 5'5 freshman from Corona. Starting at the other guard spot is number 13, Eliza D, a 5'3 senior from Chino Hills. She is the Coyotes' leading scorer, but she has only played in 9 games this year. Starting at the third guard spot, number 25, Jaslyn Kosi, 5'7 senior from Los Angeles. She's played all 16 games this year with 9 starts. Starting at the forward spot for the Coyotes is number 24, Adriana Brody, 5'10 freshman from Fontana. And starting at the other forward spot is number 33, Trendy Trice, 5'9 junior from Riverside. She's the Coyotes' second leading scorer on the year, averaging about 10 points. She had a big game against the Golden Eagles last time they faced each other. She had 26 points. The head coach for the Coyotes is Kevin Becker. He's in his 17th year as head coach. He has an overall record of 244 and 211. As you would expect, he's the longest tenured active coach in the CCAA in women's basketball with those 17 years, so he's been around a long time. His assistants are Monique Nolan and Robert Flores. For Cal State LA, they have the same starting lineup that they had last week. They certainly do not want to change things when they have a winning formula. And they have Paige Melville starting in the backcourt, a 5'8 sophomore from Terrigal, Australia. Melville scored 15 points in both games last week, so she had a very good week. Starting at the other guard spot is number 5, Kelly Lewis, 5'7 senior from Santa Clarita. Of course, Lewis had a season-high 25 points against Humboldt State last week. Much of her success due to her driving to the basket and getting a lot of layups and off-balance jumpers to go in. That really reinvigorated her game and kind of solved the shooting struggle she'd had earlier this year. Starting at the third guard spot is number 15, Alicia Belt, 5'8 senior from Carson. Of course, Belt's in there for her rebounding. She started the last 3 games. She had a season-high 6 rebounds in the last game last week against Humboldt State. Starting at the fourth guard spot, of course, Cassandra Williams, number 11, 5'5 senior from Chicago, Illinois. As I mentioned, the CCA Player of the Week last week. She's on a roll right now. She's second in the conference and 14th in the nation in scoring, averaging just over 19 points a game. So she's certainly had a lot of success lately and throughout the year. And at the forward spot Rochelle Nahara, 5'8" senior from Rowland Heights. Janelle Jones is the head coach. Megan Nelson and Derek Florence are the assistants. Right now we're going to pause while the national anthem plays at the Eagles Nest. We'll be right back after the national anthem to talk about Cal State San Bernardino and more about this game on the Cal State LA Athletics Network. And we are back. The Golden Eagles playing a Cal State San Bernardino team that's 9th place in the CCAA right now. They're 4-8 in conference on the year. They finished last year in 9th place, incidentally, only one game out of 8th, so they're in the same position this year. They have lost 5 in a row, though, including a 52-42 loss to San Francisco State in their last game. 4 of those losses, though, have been on the road, so they've had a tough schedule lately. But they have struggled to score in those losses. They haven't scored more than 56 points in any of those games. Coyotes did start out the year very well. They were 4-3 in conference, including a win over UC San Diego, which is very impressive. And I mentioned earlier why the 82 points they scored against Cal State LA was unusual. It's because that was the most points they've scored in a game this year. They had not scored more than 70 points in any other game this year, so I guess the Golden Eagles were the answer for the Coyotes' offensive struggles this year. We'll see how it goes tonight. Anyway, the Coyotes were picked to finish 8th in the coaches' poll this preseason, and that's about where they are right now, so that so far looks pretty accurate. Of course, they just want to get into the CCA tourney. That was a tough break for them, being one game out last year. Once they get into that tourney, of course, anything can happen, and they certainly want to end that losing streak tonight and give the Golden Eagles a battle. As the starting laps are being introduced right now, remember, fans, after this game, the men's game between Cal State LA and Cal State San Bernardino, that should also be a really exciting game. That'll start about 7:30 or approximately 20 minutes after this game ends, so make sure you stay tuned for that one. That's a big game for Cal State LA men, who are tied for 3rd place right now, and Cal State San Bernardino's men are in 2nd place. So the Golden Eagles, this is their 5th of a 6-game homestand. Tonight and tomorrow night against UC San Diego, and then that will be it for the homestand. They'll finish the year with 6 of their final 8 games on the road. Their only 2 home games after this weekend are February 15th and 16th against San Francisco State and Sonoma State. Of course, that game tomorrow night against UC San Diego, a very big game. Golden Eagles come into tonight's game 9-3 in the CCAA, 14-5 overall. They are tied for 2nd place with UC San Diego. They're a game and a half out of first. Chico State won yesterday, playing on Thursday. So the Golden Eagles have to win tonight to stay a game back of first place. They have teams lurking right behind them, though. Cal State Monterey Bay is only a half game back at 8-3, and Cal Poly Pomona is only a game back at 9-4. You may remember Cal Poly Pomona was tied with the Golden Eagles before that game last Saturday night that Cal State LA won by 20 points. So the teams are at the center jump ready to go. Cal State San Bernardino is in their black uniforms with blue trim. Golden Eagles are in their traditional white uniforms with black trim, and we are underway. Hope you enjoy this one, wherever you may be listening to it on the Cal State LA Athletics Network. In the front court, Trice with the ball. Swings it around. Now Mack back to Trice. Beld is right on her, hounding her. We'll see how the Golden Eagles come out energy-wise to start this game. Now D fakes a drive, pull-up 10-footer, no good. Melville gets the rebound as it was fumbled away. Now Lewis gets over to Melville. And the Golden Eagles will set up their offense. Sandra Williams in alone to Lewis all alone. She took her time and missed the layup. Boy, if she would have gone up a little quicker there, I think she would have had an uncontested layup. She took a little too long and the defense converged. Trice pull up 13-footer off the heel. Nahara gets the rebound. Quickly coming the other way is Melville. Melville looking for somewhere to give it. Finally gives it to Belt. And the Golden Eagles will reset. Now Williams gets over to Lewis. Now Belt on the near wing. Looking inside, Melville cutting. Nahara behind the play. They can't find her. Now with 8 seconds on the clock, over to Melville. Melville with 6, looking for something to do. Goes around a double screen. Now to Belt with 3. Belt with 2 has to pull up for it. A long 18-footer. Just in time, she knocks it down. Boy, that was really close. Almost a shot clock violation. The ball just barely left her hands before the clock expired. And that's the first basket of the game for the Golden Eagles, 2-0. So a good sign, getting early scoring from an unexpected source. As the ball's tied up by Melville, nice job, and the possession arrow will go Cal State LA. So nice help defense there by Paige Melville, forces the turnover for the Coyotes. And Melville, after fixing her hair, will bring it into the front court, looking to get the Golden Eagles on the board once again. She takes a pass, drives all the way underneath, puts up a shot, and is hammered by Mack. So Melville in the last week or two has done a nice job of that, where she's found driving lanes, has been able to drive to the basket and draw contact and get to the free throw line. So that's the first team foul of the game. And Melville certainly wants to get to the free throw line. She's very good from there, 82% on the year. She did miss a couple free throws in her last game, which is very unusual for her, and she misses one right there, sure enough. So Melville hasn't been shooting quite as well lately as she has the rest of the year, but she's still very good from the free throw line. And an early substitution, Taylor Gibson, number 44, comes in for the Coyotes, 5'7" junior from Los Angeles. In fact, Melville was only 1 of 3 from the free throw line in the Golden Eagles' last game. So she splits the pair there, and that makes it 3-0 Cal State LA. As D will bring it in the front court. Now Trice gets over to Gibson, and now the Coyotes will reset in front of the Golden Eagle bench. Now calling for the ball and receiving it is Brody. Brody gets it inside now. Fall away 8-footer, no good, and Nahara gets the rebound. Now Williams gets over to Lewis. Lewis over to Belt. And an offensive foul is called, an illegal screen. Looks like they got Nahara. They did, so each team with a team foul. Nahara has been great lately rebounding the ball. She's been a real terror on the boards. She had 12 rebounds against Humboldt State, and she followed that up, tying a season high with 13 against Cal Poly Pomona the next night. Long 18-footers, an air ball, not close. That was by Kosi. Now Belt 1 on 3 the other way, tries to drive in. Around D, puts up the shot, no good. Nahara with a rebound, sure enough. She's been especially good on the offensive boards. Now this Coyotes team is undersized, just like Cal Poly Pomona, so rebounding is really something you want to look at as the game progresses. Golden Eagles seems like should have a marked advantage as Williams goes underneath, lays it up and lays it in. Nice pass by Belt. And Williams was able to lay it in for her first basket, make it 5-0. So a quick start for Cal State LA, about 3 minutes into this one. Now Brody at the three-point line gets over to D. D guarded by Williams, goes around a screen, kicks in the low to Trice. Trice, turnaround, fall away 12-footer, no good. Fighting for the rebound. It goes off to Brody. Now a fall away 15-footer, tough shot, no good. Ball knocked away and stolen by Williams. Now quickly the other way to Melville. Golden Eagles looking to run. Pull up 8-footer is good by Melville. So the Golden Eagles from the get-go starting to really run, and I think maybe that second half against Pomona, they figured something out. They figured out, boy, we haven't been running as much as we should have been the whole year, and if we run like that the rest of the year, we're going to be a better team, and looks like in the early going, they might be doing the same thing, as a three-pointer is no good. That was by Gibson. Now Lewis the other way, looking for quick offense once again, but she will slow it up and settle for Belt. And now Melville gives over to Williams. Belt cuts back door. Now Melville drives around a defender. Nifty dribbling. Now Lewis spins the other way, looks to drive through 2 defenders, goes up and is tied up for a held ball. This time the possession arrow will go to the Coyotes. Nice defense there by Trice. Samantha Hanson making an early appearance for the Golden Eagles. 6-foot senior from Lake Forest. Hanson played 19 minutes in the game against Cal Poly Pomona. She did have 6 points. So she made quite a contribution off the bench. As D has it in the front court, hesitates, then pulls up for an 18-footer. No good. You can tell she's aggressive, looking to shoot early. Getting the rebound. The Coyotes get it. That's Gibson. So they got another chance. Of course, long shots, long rebounds. Now Kosi gets over to Trice. Trice looking to drive, can't find a lane. Now drives, a little up and under move. 5-footer is a nice shot. So 4.5 minutes into this one, the Coyotes finally get on the board with their first basket. Makes it 7-2. Now Belt, all the way underneath, lays it up, blows the layup, gets her own rebound, puts it up off the rim twice, 3 times, no good. Tough break there by Belt. 2 very good chances. Now D kicks it out. Now Trice has it at the elbow, kicks it over Gibson. Pull up 10-footer is good. So Gibson with a basket makes it 7-4. So the Coyotes, after a slow start, are getting back into this game. Now Melville gets over to Lewis. Now Williams looking to run the offense. Hanson sets a screen. Williams thinks better of shooting it, gets it off to Melville. Melville, she'll pull up for 3. Long three-pointer, no good. And quickly Trice with the rebound. Quickly the other way, D for the Coyotes over to Kosi. Pull up 17-footer, no good. And no, it bounces in, boy. Off the glass and bounced in. You don't see that kind of a bounce very often. So Kosi with her first basket makes it 7-6. 3 different players scoring the 3 baskets for the Coyotes. As we're about ready to approach 14 minutes to go. Belt all alone underneath. Spin move, gets a little 3-footer is good. So Alicia Belt's been very active in the early going. She has 2 baskets. That's 9-6 Golden Eagles. Now D, double teamed in low. Brody puts up the shot around Hanson and puts it in. I don't know how she got that in. So Brody with her first basket. She's the 4th Coyotes player to score. They're 8 points. So you can't ask for better balance than that. It's a 9-8 game. Now Hanson looking for somewhere to go, gives up to Williams. Williams drives in the lane all the way, puts it up, and a whistle, late whistle, but they called it. She was fouled, and she'll go to the line. See if they get the foul on. So Kosi gets the foul, her first, and that'll take us to our first media timeout. 13:27 remaining in the first half. Cal State LA out to a 9-8 lead over Cal State San Bernardino on the Cal State LA Athletics Network.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Yuh-huh.
Nuh-uh.
Yuh-huh.
Okay, what are you guys doing?
We're trying to decide if dibs
Doesn't.
beats I saw it first does.
Wait, what?
Well, there's only one double-double left for our lunch meeting, and I saw it first.
No.
Therefore, it's mine.
No, I called dibs,
Yes, so
which means the
it's dibs.
double-double
No.
should go to me. It's in the rule book.
Nuh-uh.
Yuh-huh.
Nuh-uh.
Yuh-huh.
Yeah, well, you dress funny.
I'm telling.
Oh, yeah?
Okay, children, listen, there's only one way to handle this.
Staring contest.
No, rock, paper, scissors.
No, boys, the only grown-up way to handle this is for... Whoa! Hang on, you guys! What is that over there?
What?
Where? Hey, where's she going?
Dude, I think she just sipped the last double-double.
That's so hot.
Yuh-huh.
There's a fight. I get it. No, dibs.
For the in-and-out nearest you, call toll-free 1-800-786-1000.
13:27 remaining in the first half. Golden Eagles up by 1. This Coyote team is a very young team. They only have 4 seniors on their roster. They have 9 underclassmen. And as I mentioned, they have struggled to rebound this year, but they're holding their own so far in this game. The Golden Eagles are out-rebounding the Coyotes 8-5. Sandra Williams will go to the line for first free throws of the game for her. She rattles that one in. Sandra Williams, one of the best free throw shooters in the CCAA, shooting over 82%, just like Paige Melville. She's had a lot more attempts, as that free throw is also good. Over 130 attempts. So that makes it 11-8. As D in the front court. Alyssa Hanson now in for the Golden Eagles. As a pull-up 17-footer is no good. Melville gets the rebound, and she fumbles the ball. So that stops the break temporarily. Now Williams gets it. Miriam Jenkins also in for Cal State LA. number 10. Now Williams over to Alyssa Hansen. Samantha Hansen calling for the ball, but Williams gets it instead. Williams fakes the pass, goes inside, puts it up. Ball stripped by D. Nice play there. The other way underneath. Gibson lays it up and in. So the Coyotes get a turnover and they run for a basket. That makes it an 11-10 game. Now Williams off to Jenkins. Alyssa Hansen over to Melville. In low to Jenkins. Boy, Jenkins backed away from the basket. Now Samantha Hansen gets the ball. Nice ball movement by the Golden Eagles. Now the ball deflected. Ooh, not a good pass there, though. Hansen telegraphed that pass, and it was knocked away. Now D gets over to Kosi. Now Trice. Brought it by Jenkins. Now D looking inside. Trying to get it, and does to Brody. They say Hansen hand-checked her, and that'll be the foul. So first foul on Samantha Hansen as Nahara comes back in, number 33. Also making her first appearance for the game, number 30, Kasia Powell for the Golden Eagles. Powell played 9 minutes in the game against Pomona. She had 2 points. But her contribution, of course, is a lot more than points. She's a very good rebounder for a guard and also a very good defender. As I said, she has a nose for the ball. Now D drives the lane, kicks out to Gibson for a 3 on the wing, in and out. Getting the ball, Trice over her head, puts it up and in. What a shot by Trice, acrobatic. Up over her head and in for her second basket. Make it 12-11. So the Coyotes get their first lead of the game. Now Jenkins looking inside, can't find anyone. She'll pull up for a three-pointer. Ooh, didn't hit iron off the backboard. Not close. D, 2 Golden Eagles are back. Crossover dribble, pull up 13-footer, nice moves, but the shot wasn't close. Trice gets the loose ball, she's very active early. Puts it up and in. So the Golden Eagles have no answers for Trinity Trice right now. And that's kind of similar to the first game these two teams played. She has 6 points in the early going. As I said, she had a big game against the Golden Eagles in December when these teams first played. Now Jenkins, up and under, wild shot, no good, but she'll go to the line. So the foul is on Brody. So that's a third team foul on the Coyotes. Golden Eagles only have 2. Miriam Jenkins going to the line. She hadn't been there much this year, only 15 times. Of course, her primary responsibility on the team is defense. She's the Golden Eagles' best defender. She's really a ball hawk and really can pick the pocket of any guard. As Melville comes back in, Lewis will sit down. So now Jenkins looking to make it a 1-point game once again. High arcing free throw, in and out again. Tough break there. And the rebound goes off to Kosi. So the Coyotes have really found their bearings after a slow start. Golden Eagles in this game got out to a quick 7-0 lead, but that is gone. Now D, underneath, and now back to D. Pull up 8-footer in the lane is good. So D is really looking to shoot. Boy, she's aggressive. 5th field goal attempt in her second basket. Now Melville gets it in low. Excuse me, that was actually her first basket. Just seems like more. As the ball is knocked away and stolen. Mack is the only starter that has not scored for the Coyotes, and she's on the bench. Now Kosi runs into Nahara, and they call an offensive foul. Boy, the referee at first looked like he was going to call a block, and then he changed his mind in mid-motion and signaled a charge instead. So Bell will quickly come back in for the Golden Eagles. Jenkins will sit down. So we've seen Nahara do that many times lately, take that charge. She's gotten very good at that. As for the Coyotes, a couple of players coming in. Number 22, Brianna Baker, 5'3" sophomore from Rancho Cucamonga. And number 30, Nicole Chappell, a 5'9" junior from Clovis, check into the game. So this Coyotes team has a lot of players that they trust to put in the game. As I said, they've had several different starting combinations this year. They're looking for the right mix to try and put them back on their winning ways. Now Williams makes the pass again, underway, blows the layup. Nahara gets the rebound, puts up, she misses the layup. Bill gets a third chance for the Golden Eagles out to Powell. So tough luck there. So the Golden Eagles missing some layups early. Now Powell goes around to Harris screen in the lane, spin move. Little 6-foot turnaround, rolls in. Nice shot by Powell. So first basket for Powell makes it 16-14. Now D in the front court. Gets over Trice. Looking in low. They're trying to get it inside. They can't. Now Gibson, wanted to pass it. Almost threw it away. Now D, a long three-pointer. No good. And Nahara gets the rebound. Now Williams coming the other way. 1-on-2. Kicks out to Powell. Dangerous pass. Now Powell, double team, looking for someone to give it to. Gives out to Nahara, and the Golden Eagles will reset. Now Melville, guarded by Gibson. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Now Williams. The fans count down the clock. Williams, a long three-pointer is good. About a 23-footer from Cassandra Williams. She knocks it down. Her 7th point gives the Golden Eagles back the lead, 17-16. Cassandra Williams, the leading three-point shooter in the CCAA. On the year, averaging 44%. Is that ball stolen by Nahara? 3-on-2 the other way. Nahara dribbling inside. Around the defenders, lays up, blows the layup. Belt gets the loose ball. Shot is rejected. Ball bounces on top of her head and goes back to Belt somehow. Golden Eagles will reset. Boy, that was interesting. Ball hit her on the head. Belt, and then she got it back. Now Belt fakes the three. Kicks it out to Powell. Powell, 2 defenders in the lane. Fall away 8-footer, not close. So she got bumped there and put up a fall away shot and couldn't get it. And now the Coyotes will slowly bring it in the front court. 8:20 remaining in the first half. Cal State LA with a 17-16 lead. We'll have a media timeout on the next dead ball. Now D gets it over in low. There's a foul on Nahara reaching in on Chappell. So I believe that's the second foul on Nahara, and it is. So that'll take us to a timeout on the floor. 8:08 remaining in the first half. Cal State LA is once again ahead, 17-16 over Cal State San Bernardino on the Cal State LA Athletics Network.
Welcome to the Pepsi Refresh Project. This year we're giving millions to fund ideas that will refresh the world. Your ideas, voted on by the public. Here's how it works. Submit your ideas at refresheverything.com for a chance to win a Pepsi Refresh grant. Ideas can be submitted in 6 categories: health and fitness, arts and culture, neighborhoods, the planet, education, food and shelter. Vote for ideas you care about at refresheverything.com and help them become a reality. Everyone can vote for up to 10 ideas each day. Help promote good ideas using our Facebook and Twitter tools. The ideas with the most votes will receive a Pepsi Refresh grant to make them happen. So could a soda really make the world a better place? With your help, it will. What do you care about? Join the Pepsi Refresh Project. Thousands of ideas, millions in grants. Every Pepsi refreshes the world.
One love, one blood, one people.
8:08 remaining. Golden Eagles up by 1. As I mentioned a second ago, Sandra Williams leads the conference in three-point percentage at 44% after she made that three. She's also 7th in the conference in field goal percentage, which is pretty incredible for a guard. She shoots 48% on the year. Usually you see the forwards and centers leading in that category. That tells you how good of a shooter Sandra Williams is. Anyway, Coyotes with the ball on the other end. Now a pull-up 12-footer is good by Gibson. So that's 6 quick points for Taylor Gibson. That gives the Coyotes back the lead, 18-17. Devin Riesabos making her first appearance for the Golden Eagles. She did not play. She hasn't played in the last couple games, in fact. Number 0 out there. She's out there with Melville, Lewis, Belt, and Williams. Now Melville gets over to Belt. Riesabos at the elbow gets the ball. Now back to Belt. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Now Belt looking for someone to give it to. Gives out to Williams. Williams looking to drive. Pulls up from 17. No good. Belt slaps the rebound, but it goes over to D. Tough break. Riesabos had to go through her hands. 1-on-2. Pulls up from 15 and knocks it down. Boy, D is a very confident shooter, I'll tell you that. You can tell from the early going. She does not hesitate. That makes it 20-17. Now Melville kicks off to Williams. Williams over to Riesabos. Pull up 17-footer is good. Nice shot by Devin Riesabos. So she's just in the game and she gets her first basket. Make it 20-19. Of course, she's in there for rebounding as three-pointer is up and good by Gibson. So a couple of quick baskets by Gibson gives the Coyotes a 4-point lead, their biggest lead of the game. Now Williams over to Melville. Coyotes shooting very good in the early going, almost 50%. Now Lewis. Guarded by D, gets over to Williams. Williams takes the three, gives it off to Melville, shovels it off to her. Melville drives the baseline, kicks off to Lewis. Long three-pointer straight away off the heel. She thought she made it. Melville, nice tip to Williams there. Now Rizabos over to Lewis. Lewis lays it up and blows the layup. Boy, another missed layup by the Golden Eagles. Lewis right in rhythm, but she couldn't get it to go. Now D pulls up for a long three, and that's an air ball. Lewis does a good job there to box out for the rebound. Now Williams the other way. Williams looking to go around screen, goes the other way instead. She has Rizabos inside, kicks it out. Boy, she was hit there. Melville saves it before it goes over the line. Now Belt luckily gets it. I don't know how that wasn't turned over. Belt goes through two defenders and an offensive foul. She ran over Chappell, I believe, yeah. Nicole Chappell taking the charge for the Coyotes. So tough break there. The Belt was out of control. That's her first foul. Samantha Hansen will come back in for the Golden Eagles. Melville will get a rest. Belt will get a rest also. So number 3, Kiara DeMarco making her first appearance of the game for the Golden Eagles. DeMarco also did not play in the last game against Pomona. Golden Eagles only played 9 players in that game, which is kind of unusual for Janelle Jones. She usually plays about 11 or 12. Of course, there have been a couple injuries lately that have cut down on the depth a little bit, as the turnaround jumper by Trice is good. Both Lacey Gibbons and Bree Parsons, unfortunately, are injured right now. They're not able to play. There's no answer on when they will be back, as Williams misses the shot there. Hansen gets the ball. Nice save by DeMarco, but Hansen misses the short little shot. So the Golden Eagles are missing a lot of close shots here in this first half. Shots they would normally make. Ball goes through the hands of Gibson out of bounds. Too much mustard on that pass. So the Golden Eagles trying to settle down here, down by 6. Exactly 5 minutes to go in the first half. Now Lewis in the front court gets over to Williams. Williams takes the shot, gets over to Hansen. Now DeMarco close for the ball and gets it over to Williams. Williams looking for somewhere to go. Goes around a screen, pulls up from 16, knocks it down. Nice screen by Rizabos. Williams knocks down the shot for a 9th point. So the Golden Eagles aren't looking for offense, but they're trying to slow down this offense of the Coyotes that's been struggling lately. As I said, the Coyotes have not scored more than 56 points in any of their last 5 games. They're well above that pace right now. Underneath shot by Chappell, did not draw iron. Hansen gets off to Williams. Quickly ahead to Lewis, 2-on-1. Lewis puts up, blows the layup, gets it back, puts up, she misses that layup. Rizabos puts it up and in. So finally, the Golden Eagles make a layup. 25-23, 2 baskets for Rizabos. Boy, the Golden Eagles having all kinds of trouble making layups, and we saw that earlier in the year when they struggled against Cal State Dominguez Hills. Now Trice, all the way 10-footer against Hansen. She knocks that down. Boy, Trice has been really aggressive here in this first half. She's got 10 points in 16 minutes of play, so she's played the entire first half so far. Gives the Coyotes back a 4-point lead. Now DeMarco looking for somebody to give it to. Dangerous pass. Williams somehow gets it. Boy, that was almost a turnover. Now Lewis. Straight away, Rizabos sets a screen. Hansen looking to drive, 8 on the clock. Now out to Lewis. Long 25-foot three-pointer. Ill-advised, not good. Fighting for the rebound. Rizabos, and it goes instead. Underneath Gibson, lays it up and in. Boy, tough break there. Lewis is going for the loose ball. When she missed it, it left Gibson all by herself. She has 11 points. 29-23. We're under 3 minutes to go in the first half. Now Lewis over to Hansen. Now Williams pulls up on the wing for 3. Knocks it down. Big shot by Cassandra Williams. Golden Eagles needed that one very badly after giving up the last couple of baskets to the Coyotes. Makes it 29-26. Coyotes were on a mini 4-0 run before that basket by Williams. Now with the ball, Gibson gets it in low. Trice guarded by Hansen. All the way 12-footer is good. Boy, Trendy Trice is unstoppable right now. for the Coyotes. The Golden Eagles have just not found an answer for her on defense. She has 12 points, makes it 31-26. Now DeMarco gets out to Lewis. Lewis to the free throw line, has nowhere to go, gets up to Rizabas. They swarm Williams, a double teamer. Now Williams regains her bearings, kicks out to Lewis. Lewis kicks out to DeMarco, and she is pushed down and hammered. That's only the 5th team foul, so it'll be ball to bounds, but we're going to finally have a media timeout. 1:56 remaining in the first half. Cal State San Bernardino is still leading Cal State LA, 31-26 on the Cal State LA Athletics Network.
Girls with curls, I don't know about you, but my hair is crazy. Finally, it's time to stop hating your curls. I have to tell you about my new best friend, Mixed Chicks. Since I could hold a brush, I have been trying to tame my tresses. I never wore my hair curly. I had to use so many different products or I'd get frizz. Mixed Chicks has revolutionized curly hair. They are truly the only product designed for us. Whether you're black, white, Asian, Latin, Mediterranean, or any glorious combination of them all, Mixed Chicks is for you. Now all I need is Mixed Chicks and I have soft, sexy, defined curls that aren't heavy or sticky. Mixed Chicks is 100% vegan, completely affordable, and on Halle Berry's top must-have list. And the best news is now Mixed Chicks is available at Target. Soft, sassy, touchable curls are no longer out of reach. Pick up Mixed Chicks today at your neighborhood Target store or go to www.mixedchicks.net.
1:56 remaining in the first half. If you're just joining us, the Golden Eagles got out to a 7-0 lead at the beginning of the game, but the Coyotes came back, pulled ahead, 12-11. It's been a back-and-forth game for most of the half, but the Coyotes have controlled play since that 7-0 start. And they're ahead by 5 right now. Golden Eagles only shooting 35% so far in the first half. San Bernardino is shooting over 50%. Golden Eagles, though, have out-rebounded the Coyotes by 5. As DeMarco has the ball out there in the front court, out there with Alicia Belt, Devin Rizabas, Keisha Powell back out there, and Tassandra Williams. Now Williams over to Powell. Powell drives the lane, kicks out to Belt, passes up the 3, hesitation dribble. Nowhere to go, gets off to Williams. Coyotes swarming on defense. Now Belt, nowhere to go, gets out to Williams. Williams looking for somewhere to go. 5 seconds on the clock, now with 3, with 2. Williams with 1, can't get a shot up, and the shot clock runs out. Boy, nothing happening for the Golden Eagles in that possession. Sandra Williams picked up her dribble and had nowhere to go. She was triple teamed by the Coyotes. So that's another turnover for the Golden Eagles. That's 7 in the first half. And Dee will bring it to the front court for the Coyotes. Out there with Gibson, Brody, Cora Joyce, number 35. As an 18-footer is good by Gibson. Also Brianna Baker out there for the Coyotes. So Gibson and Trice have been the story of the first half for the Coyotes. They have combined for 25 of their 33 points. Now DeMarco is under a minute to play in the first half. Gets over to Williams, who loses the ball out of bounds. Bad pass by DeMarco. Melville getting ready to check back in. Coyotes will bring it up. And Coach Kevin Becker wants a timeout for the Coyotes with 50 seconds remaining. We'll take a quick break. Cal State San Bernardino is up by 7.
Sierra Acura of Alhambra has the benefit of my family's over 80 years experience in the automotive industry. We can honestly say that there is no better time than now to purchase or lease a new or pre-owned vehicle at Sierra Acura of Alhambra. We have a terrific inventory of new and pre-owned vehicles, but more importantly, we have an experienced and knowledgeable staff to guide you with the luxury treatment you should expect as an Acura customer. Get the value you deserve at Sierra Acura of Alhambra. With 80 plus years of experience behind us, we know how.
50 seconds remaining. Cal State LA down by 7. This is the way it's been for about the last 10 minutes after Cal State LA's gotten within 2 or 3 points. The Coyotes have extended their lead with a couple of baskets. The Golden Eagles have not been able to catch them. Shot clock is about 20 seconds ahead of the game clock. As Dee has it in the back court, she's just going to run it down. She backs way up, so I suppose she's going to wait until about 10 seconds or less and drive to the basket. She's at 10, and she finally gets in the front court. Williams right on her. Here we go. She drives to the basket. Kicks it out to Gibson. Gibson, pull up 12-footer, no good. Riesebos high for the rebound. It goes off a Coyote player out of bounds. Knocked out of bounds by number 34, Shayna Stewart. So with about 20 seconds left, the Golden Eagles will bring it up. Let's see if they hold for the last shot. Now Melville gets over to Alyssa Hansen. Now Belt over to Williams with 10 seconds. Now Belt makes the shot off to Riesebos with 5 seconds. Riesebos off to Williams with 3 seconds. Williams again, nowhere to go. Pull up, top 13 is good, and she's fouled. Big basket by Cassandra Williams. I've been saying that the whole half. Cassandra Williams really single-handedly keeping the Golden Eagles in this game. There's no telling how far they'd be down if it wasn't for her 14 points. She'll go to the line looking to make it a 4-point game with 0.5 seconds remaining in the half. And she does. So that'll about do it. Coyotes will inbound it. And that should be the half as Dee gets it, and we are at halftime. So Cal State LA, after that quick 7-0 start, has seen the Coyotes pretty much control play the rest of the half. San Bernardino has been up by as much as 7 points just a minute ago. Golden Eagles have been playing catch-up for most of the half. They had cut it to as close as 1, but then the Coyotes kept extending the lead back out, and then finally the Golden Eagles cut into it here with that big 3-point play by Cassandra Williams at the end of the half, which makes it a 4-point game where we are right now. So it is halftime at the Eagles' Nest. This is Michael Nemitz saying, I'll be back in a few minutes with scores of other games, first half stats, and the beginning of the second half. Cal State San Bernardino leading Cal State LA 33-29 here at the Eagles' Nest on the Cal State LA Athletics Network.
Life of the Balance is how we distinguish ourselves from the other two divisions.
Presidents and chancellors from Division II institutions were talking about what was happening with Division II. Out of that initial summit emerged a consensus.
Our basic goals of how we want our students to develop and mature and the kinds of experiences we think that are valuable for them were really reflected in what the strategic positioning platform of Division II encourages.
It's united our membership.
This is my 14th year in Division II, and our platform has been one of the best things that have ever happened to Division II. We've defined who we are.
I see it in our student athletes who really sort of swell their chest up and are really proud of who they are and what they do.
I talk about our student athlete experience at Division II, about being really, truly life in the balance.
The administration and the presidents have done a good job saying there will be balance. You can have your 3 hours a day, but after that, they're mine or they're the faculty members.
We have to make sure that every student athlete has a broad experience in terms of academic opportunity, career opportunity, commitment to the community, understanding who they are, growing up, and being good competitors athletics.
I want our student athletes to be involved in student government. I want our student athletes to participate in the music programs that we have on campus, in the theater programs, in the student organizations such as Students in Free Enterprise. That, to me, is life in the balance. It's not just academics and athletics.
Many of our student athletes are leaders on campus. They take the initiative for community engagement projects.
We've all heard the cliche that most of the learning, occurs outside of the classroom. Well, that's the social aspect. That's the social responsibility aspect.
One of the great things about Division II is your proximity to the action. You're right there. You're not going to be in nosebleed seats. Conversely, you hear a lot more and you see a lot more. And so we have a responsibility to our fans, not only to put on a good product on the floor, but one that mom and dad feel good about with their son or daughter with them.
It is a balanced program of academics, athletics, and community outreach.
25% of our student athletes receive no athletics aid at all.
The partial scholarship model actually allows a lot more students to participate in athletics as scholarship athletes. But it says to the students, you're partially an athlete, you're partially a scholar.
It allows students who would not otherwise have an opportunity to go to college to do so.
Spirit of Division II, it's students first and student success first. I'm always reminded that Miles Brand used to say that we're an educational association, not a sports association. And I think we really took that to heart at Division II.
I believe that we have an opportunity to create in Division II a vision that the Knight Commission has been talking about for a long time, about the appropriate role of intercollegiate athletics.
Life in the balance gives students the flexibility to make choices.
It was a spark and then a slow fire, and now it's igniting. And I really think it is across a lot of our campuses.
The idea is that every student athlete should have as full a possible life experience while an undergraduate as we can afford.
I'm the president of the University of Indianapolis.
President, West Texas A&M University.
And I chose
Division II.
And I chose
Division II.
Welcome back to halftime at the Eagles Nest, where Cal State San Bernardino is leading Cal State LA 33-29. Michael Nemitz here with you once again. I tried to get scores of other games. There are 3 other games going on in the CCAA besides this game, and the only score I could get is the most important one concerning the Golden Eagles. At halftime, UC San Diego is leading Cal State Dominguez Hills 29-26. That's a very important game for Cal State LA because they are tied with UC San Diego for second place in the CCAA at 9-3, and of course that'll be their opponent tomorrow night, a very big game. So Cal State Dominguez Hills can pull off the upset. The Golden Eagles could win this one. They could move into second place all by themselves, but of course they have to come back as they are trailing at halftime. Let's click to the halftime stats. First for the Coyotes, it's really for them, it's the story of 2 players. Taylor Gibson off the bench had 13 points on 6 of 8 shooting. She played 18 minutes even though she came off the bench. And Trendy Trice, the second leading scorer for the Coyotes, had 12 points on 6 of 9 shooting in 19 minutes, to go along with 5 rebounds. So those 2 combined for 25 of the Coyotes' 33 points. Eliza D had 4 points. Adriana Brody had 2, and Jesslyn Kosey had 2. Those are the only other point totals for the Coyotes. For the Golden Eagles, it was the story of one player, Tassandra Williams, had 15 points. Once again, 5 of 8 from the floor. She made both of her 3-pointers and all 3 of her free throws. She played all 20 minutes, and the Golden Eagles sure needed her. They would not be in this game if it wasn't for her clutch baskets. She seemed to get a clutch basket every time the Golden Eagles fell behind by a dangerous margin. She brought them back in the game. We'll see if she can keep doing that in the second half. The other leading scorer besides that is Devin Rizabas, who had 4 points. So no other Golden Eagle with more than 4 points, along with Alicia Belt with 4 points. Paige Melville had 3, Keisha Powell had 2, and Miriam Jenkins had 1. As far as the team stats go, Golden Eagles only shot 38% from the floor, 11 of 29. Coyotes shot 51%, 16 of 31. They only made 1 of 3 from long range, though. The Golden Eagles are 2 of 5 from long range. Golden Eagles are 5 of 7 from the free throw line. The Coyotes did not shoot a free throw. Golden Eagles did out-rebound the Coyotes 20-14. That included 9 big offensive rebounds. But Cal State LA missed a lot of easy layups. That's the other story of this first half. Golden Eagles had a lot of layups right under the basket that they missed. And boy, they sure could have used those points now. Golden Eagles did have 8 turnovers to 4 for Cal State San Bernardino. Coyotes had a 13-7 edge in bench points and a 16-10 edge in points in the paint, but that was because of all the blown layups by the Golden Eagles. As I said, after this one, the Golden Eagles will face UC San Diego tomorrow night. That game will start at approximately 5:30. You don't want to miss that one. That's a very important game. Golden Eagles then go on the road for 6 of their last 8. They won't be back to the Eagles Nest until February 15th for their last 2 games of the regular season. Of course, if they finish in the top 4 at the end of the year, they will host a first-round game in the CCA Conference Tournament. That first-round game would be March 5th, but that's a long ways off. There's a lot of season left. Remember, fans, there's a men's game coming on after this one ends, about 20 minutes after this one ends, usually around 7:30. I know this was a pretty quick first half, but time-wise, but we'll see how the second half goes. As the players are out on the floor, same 5 that started the game for the Golden Eagles. Williams, Lewis, Belt, Nahara, and Melville. Looks like the Coyotes have their same 5 that started the game too, with D, Brody, Cozy, Mack, and Trice. Mack hardly played at all in the first half. Now Lewis gets over to Melville on the wing for 3, knocks it down. Good sign to start the second half. Melville knocking down a 3. So that's her second basket of the game. 6 points, makes it 33-32. Now Cozy, guarded by Lewis. Let's see if the Golden Eagles really pick up their energy on defense. That's been a trademark this year. They've kind of been lackadaisical at times in the first half, and then the second half they really pick it up. As underneath shot, no. And getting her own rebound and being fouled is Brody. It's a nice second effort there. The foul will go on to Sandra Williams. That's only her first foul, so Golden Eagles don't have to worry about foul trouble for her. Nahara was the only Golden Eagle player with 2 fouls in the first half. A couple of Coyote players have 2 fouls. As D, it's the first time I've seen her hesitate on a shot the whole game. Now Mack kicks it out to D. She'll take that shot, sure enough, for 3 and knocks it down. Well, when you're as good as D is, why hesitate? She scored 20 points against Sonoma State last week. She was all CCA second team last year, so she certainly knows how to score. As Melville gets it over to Belt. Nahara posting up. They get it to her just outside the paint. Now Nahara loses the ball as it's taken away by Mack. Boy, no one said anything to her. Now underneath, Belt challenges the shot and blocks the shot. It goes tipped out of bounds. Looked like off of San Bernardino. The referee pointed the wrong way. She pointed toward San Bernardino at first, and then she did say it was Golden Eagle ball. It did go off a Coyotes player. So Williams will bring it up. Looking to bring the Golden Eagles within 2. Minute and a half into this second half. Now Lewis gets it over to Melville. Melville looking inside. Can't find anyone. Williams cuts back door, and she, boy, gets the pass. Melville got in the air and had nowhere to go with the pass. It was stolen by D after Williams tried to save it. Boy, Melville made a mistake there, jumping to make a pass. Mack goes right around Nahara, and Melville had to reach in and foul her. And they're going to say she was shooting, so that'll be 2 free throws. So that's only the first foul on Melville. Mack, as I said, only played about 7 minutes or so in the first half. She did not score. She was the only starter not to score for the Coyotes. They had pretty good balance at the beginning of the game before Trice and Gibson took over as that free throw is missed. So Mack looking to give the Coyotes a 5-point lead. And she does. And that makes the score 37-32 as Melville has it in the front court. Melville looking for someone to give it to. Can't find anyone. Finally gets it into Harris. She has the ball tipped away, and they say she knocked it out last. So the ball will go to the Coyotes. Tough break there. It was a nice cut by Nahara. She just couldn't get the ball, and it went off her hands. Now D in the front court. Gets it at the elbow to Brody. Now hands off to Mack. Mack over to Kosi. Ball kicked by Lewis. So the shot clock's at 14 seconds. They reset it to 15, and the Coyotes will get the ball out of bounds with 17:39 remaining in the second half. So the Golden Eagles just not able to get on any kind of runs in this game. Biggest run they had was to start the game when they got out to a 7-0 lead. It's been really back and forth. The Coyotes more than holding their own on offense as D pulls up for a 17-footer, knocks it down. So boy, your Trice and Gibson got going in the first half. If D gets going in the second half, the Golden Eagles are really going to be in trouble. As Belt gets it over to Melville. Melville over to Belt. Now they swing it around. Williams thinks better of the shot. Now Lewis fakes a drive. 2 defenders come to her. Now Nahara gets it out to Melville. Melville drives inside the ball, knocked away and stolen. That was by Brody. Now Brody, boy, look like a travel there. Late whistle, they finally called on Trice. Wondered if they were going to call that one. Jenkins getting ready to come in for the Golden Eagles. Melville will sit down. So Janelle Jones may be looking more for defense here than offense, as the Coyotes have seemed to got any shot they want in their offense. Now Williams calls out a play. And Nahara comes out to get the ball above the three-point line. Back to Williams. Williams looking inside, gets off to Lewis. Lewis back to Williams. Williams goes around to Belt's screen, drives the baseline underneath, puts it up, puts it in. She shielded her defender off very nicely with her body and made the basket for her 17th point. She has half of the Golden Eagles' 34 points. So that gives you an idea how much Cal State LA is struggling on offense. Now Mack gets it over to Kosi. Kosi over to D. Now Mack gets over. Boy, Lewis was there. She couldn't knock it away. Now Trice pulls up an offensive foul. Again, Nahara took the charge. Brody ran her over. And it was actually Kosi that ran her over, excuse me. Great play by Nahara, though. It's third foul on Kosi. She will sit down with those 3 fouls, and Gibson will come back into the game. So look out for Gibson. She was the leading scorer for the Coyotes in the first half. As Lewis will bring it to the front court. Now Williams gets it over to Nahara. Belt cuts back door. They can't find her. Now Nahara kicks out to Williams. Ooh, couldn't get a pass to Nahara. Nahara's post up. She's got her defender sealed off, but Williams couldn't get her to the ball. 8 seconds on the clock. Now Lewis pulls up for a long three-pointer, not what they wanted on offense. Belt high for the rebound, puts it up and puts it in. So nice job by Belt to bail the Golden Eagles out on that possession. Lewis was forced to take a long shot at the end of the shot clock. Really nothing happening there, and Belt got the rebound. So that's 6 points for Belt, and once again makes it a 3-point game. But as I've said, every time the Golden Eagles have got to about this margin, the Coyotes answer as D misses the shot. Nahara gets the rebound, whips it out ahead to Williams, tips it ahead to Lewis. Boy, kind of in between two players. They didn't know where to go. Now a dangerous pass thrown away. Boy, Lewis really couldn't get that to Williams. She should have gone up for the shot. Now D the other way, kicks it out, runs over Nahara, no call. Pull-up shot is good by Gibson. Tough break there for the Golden Eagles. That's a 4-point turnaround. It's now Jenkins. Runs over a defender, and this time they do call the charge. So it was Mack, I believe, who took the charge. So that'll take us to a timeout on the floor, and the Golden Eagles need this timeout. 14:55 remaining in the second half. Cal State LA is still trailing Cal State San Bernardino 41-36 on the Cal State LA Athletics Network.
The California Collegiate Athletic Association. 12 public institutions, 12 sports venues, 11 championships each year. A Division II conference born in 1939, the CCAA is holder of an unprecedented 149 national championships. From the redwoods of Northern California to the sunny beaches in the South, student athletes who compete in the CCAA also contribute to the community through programs such as the Student Athlete Advisory Committee and excel in the classroom, with 453 earning CCAA All-Academic Honors in 2010. The CCAA, a proud member of NCAA Division II.
Maybe it's where we're located, in the heart of Los Angeles. Maybe it's the pride of 20,000 students a year who know about our world-class programs, our award-winning faculty, and our dedicated staff. Maybe it's the promise of a rewarding career in nursing, education, science, media, or the humanities. Maybe you should find out why. A tradition of lifetime learning at Cal State LA.
14:55 remaining. Turnovers are starting to mount for the Golden Eagles. They have 14 in the game to only 6 for the Coyotes. As San Bernardino will bring the ball in the front court. D has the ball. She's out there with Mack, Trice, Gibson, and Brody as a three-pointer. No good. Williams with the long rebound, looking to push. 3 Coyotes are back. Nahara, high dribble there. Look, sets the screen, gets the pass, fumbles the ball. Double team, kicks out to Belt. Wide open 18-footer. Ooh, off the heel, no good. D with the rebound. Gibson ahead of the pack, but they can't get it to her. Now cutting Trice underneath. Puts up a wild shot, no good. Good defense by Belt. Now with the ball off to Williams. This is the pace the Golden Eagles want to play. Now Williams has to slow it up. And Nahara will slow it down, and the Golden Eagles will reset. So just for a second there, it looked like the Golden Eagles were getting out and running, but they couldn't make anything out of it. Now Williams kicks off to Jenkins in the corner. High arcing rainbow three, no good. Powell fighting for the rebound. Can't get it. So if the Golden Eagles, Jenkins and Powell are out there, along with Belt, Nahara, and Williams. Janelle Jones looking for some combination that can get a spark going here. As the ball fumbled away by Gibson, she gets it back. Now it to Trice. In low, good position by Brody. Shot rejected by Jenkins. Nice fly swat away there. Now Williams coming the other way. All the way underneath, almost traveled. Shot off the front rim, no good. Powell fights the loose ball and gets it. And the Golden Eagles will get another chance. Williams out wide open, calling for the ball. Finally gets it for a long two and knocks it down. Her foot is on the three-point line. Boy, she was clapping her hands trying to get Nahara's attention. Get her the ball, and she finally got it. Gets her 19th point to make it 41-38. But boy, it's going to be tough to win this game when it's just a one-man show right now. That's what DeSandra Williams is, basically. She needs some help. As D gets over to Mack. Now back to D. That long hair, she drives on Williams. Pull up 8-footers and air ball. Jenkins with the rebound. Oh, she went down. Oh, man, she's really hurt. Shot is good. She's writhing in pain. That is not a good sign at all. Oh, that's a really bad sign. She's writhing in pain. She has her leg bent. It does not look good at all. And that does not look good the way she came down. She doesn't want anyone to touch her leg. Oh, my. That is really too bad. She came down hard on that right leg and right knee, and I don't want to speculate, but she's in a considerable amount of pain right now. That's really, really too bad. She's been a key player to the Golden Eagles all year. She missed 5 games with an injury earlier this year, and she came back and has been a catalyst on defense. Trainer Lori Rudd is checking on her right now. But she was in a lot of pain when she went down. You could hear her screaming from up here. I don't want to speculate. I see her family in the crowd, and they certainly do not look well right now. You certainly would expect that. That's not something you'd want to see in person if you're her family. I'm sorry to see that. I hope she's okay. Anyway, while they're tending to her, we're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be right back on the Cal State LA Athletics Network.
To laugh, and when the sun is down, I've got something I can laugh about.
Wherever you've been, whatever you've been through, we've got a warm welcome waiting for you. And that is only the beginning. Doubletree by Hilton, where the little things mean everything.
So Miriam Jenkins, a good sign, is walking under her own power behind the scorer's table. She had her leg lifted at first, but she is walking under her own power, so we hope that's a good sign. Golden Eagles have been riddled by injuries lately, losing Lacey Gibbons a couple of weeks ago and then losing Bree Parsons last week. Last thing they can afford to do is lose another player that's key to their rotation. I mean, they have a lot of depth on this team, but there's only so many injuries you can take before it really starts to be a factor. As Powell kicks off the belt, we're back underway. Belt around a Rizabos screen, gets the ball knocked away by Brody out of bounds, and will stay with Cal State LA. So Melville out there along with Belt, Keisha Powell, Devin Rizabos, and Sandra Williams. Now Williams, she's gone the whole way in the game. She hasn't rested yet. 4 seconds on the clock with 3. In low to Belt with 1, fumbles it, puts it up, and a shot clock violation. Ball got knocked away. I thought they might call a foul. They didn't call anything. They just say it was knocked away, and that's what Janelle Jones wants. She wanted a foul called. Almost looked like Belt was hit on the arm on that shot, but no call. So the Coyotes will bring it up, ahead 43-38. Let's also hope that injury doesn't kill any momentum the Golden Eagles had trying to make a comeback in this one. Now D in the lane. Pull-up 10-footer is good. So D, really a factor here in this second half. She has 11 points on the game. She's the third Coyotes player in double figures. Makes it 45-38. So once again, the Golden Eagles get within 3, but they can't get any closer. That's been the story the whole game. Now Melville. Boy, Melville's been quiet in this game. Drives the baseline. Ball knocked away. She gets it back on her knee. Gets off the Belt. Belt fumbles the ball. Loses it. 6 seconds on the clock. Underneath the Rizabos, who puts it up and blows the layup. So another blown layup by the Golden Eagles. And luckily for Cal State LA, Brody dribbled it out of bounds, so it'll go back to the Golden Eagles. That's a fortunate break. Now out to Belt. Now Melville. Coyotes have really not allowed any driving lanes in this game. They played a zone and have really packed it in most of the game. Now Williams, pull up 10-footer, no good, but she'll go to the line to shoot 2. So D fouled her. That's only her first foul. There's really, the only player in foul trouble for the Coyotes is Kosi. Golden Eagles don't have any player with more than 2 fouls. Sandra Williams will go back to the line, makes the free throw. She's got 20 big points already. She's made all 4 of her free throws. As I said, she's played all 29 minutes. She is not rested. She'll probably have to go the rest of the way here. So that makes it 45-40. She's still got more than half of the Golden Eagle points. As D brings in the front court. Now drives inside. Williams picks her up, pull up 13-footer off the front rim, no good. Belt tipped it up, and it might have gone in off Belt. They may give the basket to Trice, but I think Belt tipped that ball. What a bad break. So that's the way it's been going for the Golden Eagles. Belt tipped that ball up trying to get the rebound, and it went right in the basket. That makes it a 7-point game once again. So Williams wanted a foul there, but D reached in. Now a double team. She drives all the way underneath, lays it up and rolls it around softly and in. Sandra Williams very upset there was no foul called by the officials. Makes it 47-42. Boy, she's going to be well on her way to her career high at this rate. Her career high set this year is 29 points. She's had it twice. She's already got 23. Now Gibson, shot no. Trice gets the garbage, puts it up and in. So the ball went, Brody. Kind of hard to see the Coyotes' numbers. They have black uniforms. So Brody, now Melville the other way, puts it up, blows the layup. So Melville, with only 6 points on the game, misses that layup. And boy, that's been a story in this game for the Golden Eagles, especially in the first half. All the layups right under the basket that they have not made. As I said, this Coyotes team is not real big size-wise, so a lot of those layups have been uncontested. Now D pulls up for three. Off the heel, no good. Kasia Powell high for the rebound. 9:20 remaining. See if she can get something going. Now nowhere to go. Looking to get it. Gets off the belt, barely. Janelle Jones thought about calling a timeout, thought better of it. Now Williams. Seems like the ball's in her hands every trip down. Williams pulls up for a 13-footer as an air ball. Goes off to Brody. So Williams isn't perfect. She can't make every shot, and that's basically where the Golden Eagles offense is right now. It's either Cassandra Williams or nothing, as D has it in the front court. Now Brody over to Mack. Mack looking in low. Gets over to D. 7 seconds on the shot clock. You know D's going to shoot. She fakes, drives inside. No, she kicks it under. Knocked away by Powell. Shot rejected by Belt. Great defense by Belt. And that forces a shot clock violation. So we'll see if that defense gets the Golden Eagles going. We go to immediate timeout. 8:32 remaining in the second half. Cal State LA looking desperately to try to make a run and get back in this one. They're down 49-42 on the Cal State LA Athletics Network.
What you've gained as a student will be just as important to you as what you did as a player. As long as you know that you made the effort to do the best of which you're capable, there's no failure. Success on three.
There are over 400,000 NCAA student athletes. And just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.
You're going to love the steak combos at Sizzler. Tender choice aged tri-tip sirloin, hand cut in-house and flame grilled to perfection. Served with succulent jumbo fried shrimp or Sizzler's famous Malibu chicken. Or a mouth-watering grilled shrimp skewer. For a limited time, starting at just $9.99. Sizzler steak combos. You can't find a better value, so come hungry. Starting at just $9.99. No one brings more to the table than Sizzler.
8:32 remaining. The Golden Eagles have just not been able to get their offense going. They only have 13 points in the second half. They've actually been outscored by the Coyotes by 3. The Golden Eagles have improved their defense, though. Coyotes are only shooting 39% in the second half. But the Golden Eagles just not able to get any offense from anyone outside Cassandra Williams. She has the ball out there with Alicia Belt. Alyssa Hansen comes back in. Rochelle Nahara and Kasia Powell. In low to Hansen. Boy, she was open for a second. Throws the ball to Powell. It's tipped away. So another turnover for the Golden Eagles. At 17 on the game. Now D kicks it around. Trice kicks it out. Mack out there. Ball almost knocked away by Williams. Gibson gets out to Mack. So D out there for the Coyotes along with Brody, Trice, Gibson, and Mack. Now three-pointer by D, wide open. No good. Belt high for the rebound. She couldn't get it. Goes off to Trice. Polo, a bank shot. 10-footer is good. Boy, Trice has a nice inside game. She has 16 points. Coyotes now have their biggest lead of the game. I was going to say the Coyotes haven't been able to lead by more than 7 points this entire game, but that's not the case anymore. As Powell Gets over to Alyssa Hansen. Now Hansen gets over to Belt, way above the three-point line. Belt looking to drive. Nahara in the lane. She finally gets it. Turnaround, little 5-footer shot is rejected, I believe, by Trice. Yes, Trice 1-on-2 the other way. Coyotes will just run the time down. Now D shakes the hair out of her face, and she'll reset. Fans call for defense. Golden Eagles need some offense right now. Mack kicks it around. Now back to Mack. Three-pointer by Gibson, no good. Ball tipped out, and D gets it back, and Coyotes will get another possession, and that just takes more time off the clock. Now it's kicked out Gibson, same spot. She just missed a three. She misses another three. Nahara finally gets the rebound for the Golden Eagles. Hansen looking to push the other way. Williams calling for the ball. Hansen will give it off to Powell instead. Now it's over to Williams. Williams over to Belt. Now Hansen tries to drive, can't find anything. Kicks over to Powell. Powell finds a lane. Pull up 13-footer, no good. Nahara high for the rebound. It's a held ball, but unfortunately the possession arrow goes to the Coyotes. So that's another empty possession for Cal State LA. Boy, the Golden Eagles having all kinds of problems on offense. They have only scored 2 points in the last almost 5 minutes of the game. Since the 11:04 mark, they only have 2 points in that span. Of course, the Coyotes only have 6 points, but the Golden Eagles aren't scoring. That doesn't matter to the Coyotes because they're the ones with the lead. Now D gets over to Kosi. Golden Eagles trying to pick up full court pressure. Melville back in the game, along with Lewis. So Janelle Jones trying to find some combination of scores in there. Golden Eagles going a bit smaller here as a pull-up 18-footer in and out and back in again by Gibson. So 19 points for Gibson. She's the leading scorer for the Coyotes. Ball fumbled away, almost knocked away. Going out of bounds. It goes somehow. Saved by Trice off to D. D 1-on-4 will back it up. Coach Kevin Becker telling her team to slow it down with an 11-point lead. Now D kicks over to Mack. And it just does not seem to be getting any better for the Golden Eagles. Three-pointer by D off the front rim, no good, but rebound goes to Mack. So the Golden Eagles right now just being out-hustled. As D swings it around to Gibson. Gibson over to D, over to Mack. Three-pointer, banks it in! Boy, is that how the game's been going or what? Banked in three. Makes it a 14-point lead. And we're under 5 minutes to go. Time is a serious factor now as Williams puts it up and in. Janelle Jones wants a timeout. Trying desperately to think of something to bring her team back. 4:49 remaining in the second half. Cal State LA is on the ropes right now, down 56-44 on the Cal State LA Athletics Network.
California's engineering innovations circle the globe and light the darkness. The California State University system has been enlightening promising engineers for the past 5 decades. Cal State LA graduate Pervez Lodi is the founder and president of Ledtronics, a leading light-emitting diode company.
If you work hard, get proper education, the American dreams are still available there to everybody.
The California State University system has been working for California for 50 years.
4:49 remaining in the second half. So Cal State San Bernardino, who only averages 55 points a game on the year, have already scored 56. They're above their average. Golden Eagles on the year average 70 points a game, over 70. They lead the conference. They're stuck on 44 points right now, just not able to find any offense at all outside Sandra Williams. Of course, the Golden Eagles have not had trouble scoring very often this year. Their lowest point total of the year is 49 points against UC San Diego, and they will see UC San Diego tomorrow night. Right now, they're stuck on 44. And a very good sign for Golden Eagle fans. Miriam Jenkins is back out on the court, so that's really good news. I mean, she was really writhing in pain when she went down. She kind of looks like hobbling a little bit, but if she's able to go out there, that's really a good sign. That's the last thing the Golden Eagles can afford is another injury. So Jenkins is out there with Melville, Alyssa Hanson, Cassandra Williams, and Nahara. D with the ball for the Coyotes. Now Gibson with Mack, Trice, and Brody. He's the ball into the front court. The Coyotes break the pressure. So the Golden Eagles trying to do anything to pick up the tempo here and get back in this game. Try to force some turnovers. Coyotes have done an excellent job of holding on to the ball. They've only turned it over 6 times in the game. Now 8 seconds on the clock. Ball dumped in low. Now D with 5 seconds. Spin move. Kicks it out. 18-footer by Trice with 2. No good. Fighting for the rebound. Goes off to Brody. Looked like she traveled, and she did. So we'll get another quick timeout because it's a media timeout. So 4:17 remaining in the second half. Don't go anywhere. We'll see if Cal State LA can make a run here at the end of this game. They're down by 12 points right now, 56-44 on the Cal State LA Athletics Network.
The NCAA Division II student-athlete experience goes beyond the classrooms and playing fields. It means a commitment to service and community, helping organizations like the Make-A-Wish Foundation by raising money to help grant the wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions. Kids like Jacob.
Some student-athletes gave of their time and their energy to raise the money.
It was fun to meet Jeff Gordon.
NCAA Division II, training student-athletes for lifelong achievement.
I chose Division II because athletes graduate at a higher rate.
I can stay closer to home and be an important part of the community. I chose Division II because I can double major
and take part in campus activities.
I chose Division II because classrooms are smaller.
Students have more time with their instructors.
And I can compete for a national championship. I chose Division II for all these reasons and more.
I chose Division II.
4:17 remaining in the second half. Cal State LA down 56-44. Golden Eagles, as I've said, if you're just joining us, have trailed for most of the game. They led 7-0 to begin the game, but the Coyotes controlled the rest of the first half, and then the Coyotes have led the rest of the way, anywhere from about 3 to 7 points, and they've increased that lead to 14 recently. And it is 12 right now as Nahara out there with Williams, Alyssa Hanson, Paige Melville, and Miriam Jenkins. Williams trying to force the action there, put up a wild shot, no good. She's trying to draw the foul. Now Melville gets the loose ball. Aretha Williams, boy, she did a good job catching that one. Around D, puts it up and puts it in. I don't know how she got that shot in. She found the basket somehow and was fouled. So to Sandra Williams, 27 big points. 10 of 16 shooting. She's made all 5 of her free throws, so she's about to go over her career high. Of course, it would be too bad if it were a moot point and a loss. She wants to bring her team back to victory. As I mentioned in the first meeting, she scored 9 of Golden Eagles' last 11 points to will her team to victory in that game. We'll see if she can do the same thing here. She makes the free throw, 56-47. Golden Eagles with 5 quick points. We're under 4 minutes to go. They've still got a long ways to go. Now picking up full court, D has the ball. Alyssa Hanson on her. They might need help guarding D. She's been hot in the second half. Now Mack whips across court to Gibson. Then low to Trice. Trice whips it back out to Gibson. Ball stolen by Hanson, but it somehow went back to D. Pulls up for a wild 15-footer, no good. Miriam Jenkins tips the ball. It's knocked away, and Cassandra Williams reached in and fouled Brody. Tough break there. Golden Eagles got the miss they needed. They just could not get the rebound. That's only the second foul on Cassandra Williams. Well, that's the 4th team foul, so they're saying it wasn't a shooting foul. It's a bit of a break. Ball out of bounds. Golden Eagles only with 4 team fouls. The Coyotes have 3. This has been a fairly cleanly played game. Not many free throws, and that's why it's been a quick played game. The pace, I should say, of how long it's taken has been quick. The pace of the game hasn't been. As Mack gets it over to D. Now D kicks it out to Gibson. Pull up 17-footer. She stepped in where she could make it, and she did. Big shot there by Gibson for her 21st point. Gives the Coyotes back an 11-point lead. We're under 3 minutes to go. So the Golden Eagles cannot waste much time here. Nahara. Melville cutting back door. Nahara kicks out to Williams. Williams looking to go around the screen. Now she's double teamed. Kicks out to Jenkins. Jenkins in low to Nahara. Nahara shot rejected by Trice. Ball knocked away and stolen by D. Nice play by Trice from behind to block Nahara's shot. So D will just run the clock with 2:20 remaining. Coyotes are in no hurry. We'll see if the Golden Eagles have to start fouling pretty soon. Coyotes have only been to the line 2 times in this game. Now D kicks it out coast to Gibson, puts it up, no good, and as soon as I say that, they're going to the line. That's a tough break with the shot clock running down. Foul is on Jenkins. So Gibson with 21 points will go to the line for her first free throws of the game. 10 to 16 from the floor. She also has 4 rebounds. Free throw is good. So on the year, Gibson is only a 43% free throw shooter, but she has not been there very often. Looking to extend that lead in and out, and Nahara gets the rebound. 2 minutes to go. Golden Eagles are going to have to push. Hanson quickly ahead, down by 12. Melville straight away for 3, off the rim, no good. Jenkins chases down the loose ball. Looking for somewhere to go. She's picked up by Brody. Now Williams, gets that dangerous pass. Looks to go around the screen. She pulls up for 3 on the wing. No good. That would have been for a career high. As D is double teamed. Now Mack has it. We'll see if the Golden Eagles foul down by 12. And that's what Janelle Jones is saying. You got a foul. And that's what Hanson was looking at her, wondering what to do. And finally she fouls. Boy, they wasted a good 10 seconds there not fouling. Boy, they finally fouled D. That's a 16 foul, too, so they're going to have to foul again. Golden Eagles are not out of fouls. As they foul D again. Coyotes on the year are a 61% free throw shooting team. Hanson commits to another foul. The player they want to seem to get to the free throw line is Mack. She's their best free throw shooter, 81%. D's only 66% free throw shooter. So we'll see how she does here. She's not gone to the line tonight. That free throw is perfect. So Lewis will come back in. That's obviously for outside shooting. Golden Eagles will probably need a miracle now, but they're going to need to knock down some threes. Second free throw is good. And Cal State San Bernardino wants timeout, interestingly enough. 1:24 remaining in this one. Doesn't look good for the Golden Eagles right now. They're down 61-47 on the Cal State LA Athletics Network.
Girls with curls, I don't know about you, but my hair is crazy. Finally, it's time to stop hating your curls. I have to tell you about my new best friend, Mixed Chicks. Mixed Chicks has revolutionized curly hair. I no longer fear frizz. Tame your curls with Mixed Chicks. All I need is Mixed Chicks, and I have soft, sexy, defined curls that aren't heavy or sticky. 100% vegan, always affordable, and the secret of the Hollywood elite. Pick up Mixed Chicks today at your neighborhood Target store or go to www.mixedchicks.net.
1:24 remaining. Maybe some good news. The Golden Eagles are tied with UC San Diego. UC San Diego's in a tight game with Cal State Dominguez Hills. They're only up 50-48 with under 5 minutes to go. Three-pointer by Melville, no good. Nahara gets the loose ball, puts up shot, rejected again by Trice. And Mack is fouled, Gibson is fouled by Nahara. So just nothing going in for Cal State LA. Having all kinds of problems. Shooting 33% on the game. Only 3 of 10 from long range. So, boy, really been one of those games. But if that UC San Diego game goes final after this one ends, I'll try to get you that final score, but this game may go final first. Of course, if the Golden Eagles lose this one, and it looks like it's headed that way, and UC San Diego wins, Cal State LA will drop out of second place. They could drop even into fourth place because Cal State Monterey Bay is only a half game behind, and they play tonight. So the Golden Eagles could really drop with this loss. This is going to be a costly loss. As Lewis pulls up for 3, Rainbow in the corner, no good. Williams gets loose ball. Double team. Pull up for a 12-footer, no good. Nahara, boy, in a wrestling match underneath with Trice. She's been battling Trice all game long. And that was actually Brody, she was in the wrestling match with. So they called Brody for the foul. That's only the 4th team foul on the Coyotes. Golden Eagles nowhere near the bonus. Nahara's shaken up. She went down hard. They're going to wipe up a wet spot on the floor. So 58.3 seconds remaining. Cosi will come into the game for the Coyotes. Remember, fans, to stick around. Cal State LA men will be taking on Cal State San Bernardino. I see the Coyotes just coming into the Eagles' nest on the near side here, in front of the basket where the ball is being inbounded. So they're getting ready to play that second game, which will start approximately 7:30. Lewis, follow away 10-footer, no good. Williams fights in for the rebound. Good job there to force the held ball. Golden Eagles will get the possession. So you certainly can't fault Cassandra Williams for tonight's loss. She has 28 points. She's had a huge game. Go along with 5 rebounds. She's played every minute of this one. Boy, she's going to have to recover tonight. So Golden Eagles, they're going to need her tomorrow in a big game against UC San Diego. Now Jenkins gets it in low to Nahara. Back out to Jenkins, who fumbles the ball. Now Jenkins looking to drive. Wild 15-foot runner. Bounces off, no good. Nahara, nice job getting the rebound. Puts up, she blows the layup. How appropriate for all the layups the Golden Eagles have missed in this game. And a rebound and a foul. Well, I don't have a count how many layups they missed, but I would guess it's at least 10. Most of those, as I said, in the first half. So foul on Lewis. It'll be a 1-and-1. Gibson going back to the line. So Brianna Baker comes back in for the Coyotes. Couple of subs for them. Dee will sit down. They know they finally have this one in hand. So for the Coyotes, it's a big win for them. They break a 5-game losing streak. So that free throw is good. They were in 9th place coming into the night, 4-8 in conference. They were only a half game behind Cal State East Bay and a game behind Cal State Dominguez Hills. So if Dominguez Hills loses that game against UC San Diego, Cal State San Bernardino would tie them in the standings and theoretically at least be in a position to be in the CCA conference tournament right now. I'm sure that battle for them will go right down to the wire as the season progresses to try and get in that conference tournament. As Kiara DeMarco checking in for the Golden Eagles. So Janelle Jones may empty her bench as well. Cassandra Williams finally comes out of the game, so she'll only get the last about 35 seconds off in this one. She played the whole way pretty much. So she won't get her career high. Now Melville off to Lewis, but she played a whale of a game. 3-pointer by Jenkins, way out there, no good. Nahara fighting for the rebound, can't get it. Trice gets it. Coyotes will just run out the clock. I don't think the Golden Eagles will foul again with 11 seconds left. So very disappointing loss for Cal State LA. They'll have to regroup from this one, go on to tomorrow night. As the clock is dribbled out and the final score tonight, Cal State San Bernardino Coyotes defeat Cal State LA Golden Eagles 64-47. On the year, Cal State LA falls to 14-6 overall, 9-4 in the CCAA. Cal State San Bernardino improves to 7-10 overall, 5-8 in the CCAA. So Cal State LA just not able to get their offense going all night, besides Cassandra Williams. They really struggled. Let's quickly get to the final stats for this one. For the Coyotes, they were led in scoring off the bench by Taylor Gibson, 25 points. I would wager to take a guess that is probably her season high. She was 10 of 16 shooting. She also had 5 rebounds in 34 minutes. Trinity Trice was next with 16 points. Eliza D had 13 points, most of those in the second half, although she struggled shooting. Lexi Mack had 4 points, as did Adriana Brody. Jaslyn Cosi had 2 points. So not many players scored for the Coyotes, but they had enough. For the Golden Eagles, they were led in scoring by Cassandra Williams, who had 28 big points, as I said, 10 of 18 shooting. No other Golden Eagle player was in double figures. Paige Melville and Alicia Belt both had 6 points. Devin Rizabas had 4 points. Tasia Powell had 2 points. Miriam Jenkins had 1 point. Kelly Lewis, Rochelle Nahara, Kiara DeMarco, Alyssa Hansen, Samantha Hansen did not score. As far as the team stats, the Golden Eagles only shot 31%, 18 of 57. Cal State San Bernardino shot 45%. Golden Eagles 3 of 12 from downtown. The Coyotes 3 of 13. Golden Eagles did make 8 of their 10 free throws. The Coyotes 7 of 10, but there weren't many free throws in this game. Golden Eagles did out-rebound the Coyotes, but only 40-34. Not much of a margin there. Golden Eagles had 18 turnovers. That's a big story in this one. Coyotes only had 8. And the Coyotes beat the Golden Eagles bench points 25-7. And they also had more points in the paint, 24-20. And that was a result of many, many missed layups. So that'll about do it from here for the first game. Our next women's broadcast here on the Cal State LA Athletics Network will be tomorrow night. February 2nd, when Cal State LA takes on UC San Diego. That'll be a big game. And just an update on that game, by the way. UC San Diego is beating Cal State Dominguez Hills 58-48 with under 2 minutes to go. So it looks like UC San Diego is going to win that game. So, and they might have already won that game, in fact. So if that's the case, the Golden Eagles will be a game behind UC San Diego going into that matchup tomorrow night, but that'll still be a huge game. But anyway, that'll be our next broadcast. But make sure to stay tuned for the men's game. The men are taking the court. The women's game ended a little early, so the men's game will be starting right about 7:30, so it'll be about a half hour from now, 32 minutes or so. So I'll be back in about 27 minutes. It'll be a little bit of a longer break for me until I come back. So I will join you with that beginning of that game. Cal State LA men against Cal State San Bernardino. You do not want to miss that. That should be a very exciting game, and hopefully a lot closer than this women's game. So that'll be coming up. Don't go away. This is Michael Nimitz here on the Cal State LA Athletics Network.